right, this video is for stretching for success. I shot one out on YouTube into my list last week. You guys loved it, but you said that you couldn't see my full body. So I said, you know what, I'm going to back up the camera. I'm going to give you more specific exercises for each body part. It's going to be a little rushed because I got a lot to get through in 10 minutes. If you want more, make sure you comment at the end. I'll remind you. All right, lower body. Last week on the video, 5 things that you need to do in the proper order. 10-minute warm-up on the treadmill or calisthenic type, warm your core body temperature up. Second thing is some light general stretching. Third is an intense weight training session. Fourth is the last half of that intense session, stretching each body part out after you target it. And fifth is the final cool down. So here is my lower body stretching routine that you couldn't see last week. After you get off the treadmill, stand tall, and I call this the cowboy kicker. And it's just nice and quick, tapping that foot. If you fall down, that's okay. In the front and in the back, nice and quick, 10 to 15 times. It works great at loosening up the joints, the hip, the knee, and the ankle. It just feels really good. It lubricates it. And then after that, 10 or 15 of those, we're going to go into the the quad stretch on front. Right hand grabs the left foot. Pull that heel up high on your bun. Grab onto something if you need to. Better yet, for balance, pull that heel nice and high on your bun and then push this back, this knee here, back. You can manually help force it back to intensify that stretch on the quad. I want to stop right here and say, in general, every stretch you want to do for 4 to 5 seconds, and you want to let your breath out while you intensify that stretch. Some muscles is more important than others, but it's important on all of them. Take a big breath in and exhale. Let that air out for 4 to 5 seconds. Intensify the stretch. Okay, stretch it 4 to 5 times after you come back and relax. Take a big breath in and stretch it a little bit further, 4 or 5 times for 4 to 5 seconds. Okay, the third lower body stretch is the glute on the back side. Put that ankle bone right up on this knee. Push this toe away. Push this knee down slightly. Bend the leg that you're standing on. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale, you got to drop this hand down. I'm stretching my left glute. And you got to drop your head down. Let that air out for 4 or 5 seconds. Come up, take a big breath in. And again, exhale. 4 or 5 seconds. This time I go a little further. As you see, my hand's over here, pulling this toe away. That sigh sound, that sigh noise is you relaxing your body, and we're trying to elongate loose muscles by relaxing, and it starts with the breath. Okay? So we start out with the quad, after the cowboy kicker, the glute, and now we're going to go into the hamstrings. Okay, easy hamstring stretch. Let your air out. Keep the legs relatively locked, stiff. Keep your weight through your heels. Big breath in, come up. Exhale. Go a little further. I usually hit my middle finger first one, ring finger, pinky. The fourth one is knuckles, and the fifth one is the palms. It feels sensational. If you feel a little negativity in the back of the knee, give it a little bit of a soft bend. Make sure you tilt the hips, not a flat back. Rotate the hips so the lower back is nice and round. All right, there's your lower body stretches. For the calves, Cordell, grab me that foam roller there and just toss it over here. Real quick, foam roller. Muscles, sliding filament theory. It's not a theory, but they elongate and they shorten. A lot of times there's trauma sometime back in the day, and it bruises and it creates an adhesion. It's a spot that doesn't slide. All right, we need to knead that out, and it's a foam roller. Calves are exceptionally prone to get adhesions on them. So a foam roller, you just get on that body part and you roll that muscle nice and easy. Find the hot spots or the sore spots, and you knead them out. You stay on that hot spot. So foam roller is exceptional at before you do some intense stretching to loosen up the muscles. Find those adhesions. It's like a deep massage. So foam roll out the calves especially, but every body part has adhesions that you can find hot spots on. Now for your calves, get the balls of the toes up on top of a ledge and just lean into it. With stiff knees, just lean your pelvis into the machine for about 4 to 5 seconds, back out of it. haven't been stretching my calves. That's a great calf stretch. So there you go. It's a great lower body routine. Now chest. Chest is a little bit hard to stretch. Come on over here, Cordell. In general, for chest, you want to find something like this. Put your hands back behind you. Push your hips out. And then drop your hips down. Make sure you put your hips way out in front of you towards the wall. And then down nice and deep. That feels great. Same premise as all the other stretches we told you about. 4 or 5 times for 4 or 5 seconds, letting your breath out. Here's another thing. Smith machine is highly adjustable, or an empty bar. You can put it at different levels. The higher you put it, the more into the chest it goes. Play with your width. The wider your width, the more in the chest it is. The more narrow your grip, like that, the more into the shoulder it is. It's going to tie it. It's going to stretch right in between the chest and the shoulder right here. And then another chest stretch, real simple. You find a ledge or an edge of a wall. You lean, twist away from it, and then slowly lean your right pec, your shoulder right forward as you twist away for 4 or 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And I'll back up, and I forgot to tell you on the legs, obviously you want to do one on each side. I just showed you one side, you want to do both sides. Same thing here, after you do 4 or 5 repetitions on the right pec, you do 4 or 5 repetitions on the left pec if you're doing them unilaterally or one at a time. Okay, and since I'm here, I'm going to throw in the bicep stretch. Biceps, probably the hardest muscle group to stretch, but what you need to do is you need to get straight out from a ledge. If you don't have a machine, you can just get the ledge of a wall. Right here, arms stiff, put the tip of your knuckle right on that where your toes are coming right out from that line. You're going to push your forearm forward, you're going to bend that wrist back. So the tip of the knuckle, that index finger's on there, push your forearm forward, and then slowly twist away, look away, take your arm away and your foot away, stop about right there, and then let your air out and lean that shoulder forward. So it's similar to the chest stretch, but it's just a little bit different. You get that hand right in there, you got to push that forearm forward and push that knuckle back. And then about the only other bicep stretch that I know is semi-effective is you can come over here and get like an incline bench, put one hand here, and then get over the top of it, and then just try to lean back. It's going to get your forearms, it's almost like a hyperextended feeling where you're pushing that elbow out in that direction. Okay, now for shoulders, real general shoulder stretch would be just keep your arms stiff, pull your arm out across right here, 3, 2, and 1. And then go at different angles. Go up here, then go down here. This is a real general shoulder stretch right here where you put your hands back here, stand up tall, and drive your elbows back behind you. There's 2 good shoulder stretches. Tricep stretch. Now let's finish the arms off. Bring your hand right here to your shoulder. You're stretching this tricep out right here. Just pull that upper arm back behind you. If your hand comes out here, no good. You got to keep this hand right on the shoulder. Take a big breath in. Okay, that's a great one. Now, if you want to get more intense, if you don't have that type of flexibility, a little bit more general tricep stretch will be right here. And just pull it down nice and deep. Other tricep stretch, we come right over here. We find a wall, a beam like this. We grab it, get nice and low. Drive your elbows nice and high. You got to get low, bend low, re-grab down here nice and tight, and then stand up. And relax. So that's our upper body. That's going to conclude edition number 1 of our full body stretch. Tune in next week for version number 2. You're going to love it, and it's going to absolutely allow you to gain more in a short amount of time and stay safer with your workouts.